So good morning. Did you guys all have fun on your last night? Or I don't know how many's staying, but good. Did anyone go to the honky tonk? Okay, got it. I didn't. Obviously, I'm asking, so I didn't go. But okay, our sponsor is coming to us from Epcon, and it's going to be a video.
Are you ready to catch the wave in 55 plus home building? At Epcon Franchising, we work to support home builders like you to build homes, neighborhoods, and lifestyle that is extremely popular with the 55 plus demographic. The 55 plus market is overflowing with potential, and by working with over 75 entrepreneurs across more than 25 states, we are helping our franchise builders ride this wave in the residential real estate market. At Epcon, we offer copyrighted designs and a streamlined approach for home builders to manage the land development and home building process for 55 plus communities. As an Epcon franchise builder, you'll receive access to our business blueprint that has made us a top U.S. home builder year after year. You'll work with our experts in land, marketing, sales, and purchasing using our time-tested processes. Many of our largest franchise builders joined us during the global financial crisis. And although they faced obvious challenges along the way, they've stuck with us over the years, and they've consistently grown their businesses along the way. They were able to catch the wave at the right time.
Everybody here is knowledgeable. Epcon has had such a rich history and have a large network of franchisees that add so much value to the brand. Always looking to innovate, always looking to make things better. So that was one of the main reasons we jumped in.
I'd always thought about doing communities, just felt like didn't have the experience or the know-how to get into something that large, and Epcon paved that way.
Upon investigating everything Epcon had to offer, decided it was a perfect complement to the business that we're doing already and a great way to scale up our company as a whole.
There's a system, there's a process, it's tried and true. That's really why we bought into it. Is, of course, we could have come up with something on our own. It would have taken a long time with a lot of mistakes, and we wanted to shorten our learning curve and jump right into where we wanted to be.
Where else can a small boutique builder join a top 60 builder and have access to all the resources that this company has available?
We can't control the economy, we can't control the housing market, but we can make sure that we have the best products and the best processes to succeed in the marketplace.
At Epcon, we give existing home builders the tools to become dominant players in their local markets.
Ready to dive in? Catch us at Break Service, and let's catch the wave in 55 and up home building.
Cool. Okay. So we are going to introduce some of our new panelists. Today we are going to talk about trends for products and what we're seeing new that's out there. And I've actually found a few that I thought were really unique and exciting that I had not seen anything like them in 36 years. So I thought we should bring them in and see. And then Peter, so let's go through, introduce yourself and say where you're from.
All right, I'm Travis Ray and I'm from Brava Home in the Bay Area.
And I'm Joceyln Hafertepe with Robert Thomas Homes in Minnesota.
I'm Andrew Olson. I'm with Stark Carpet, our corporate headquarters in Florida. I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
I'm Melanie Gowans. I'm with Shane Homes, and we are in Canada, in Calgary, and breaking ground in Dallas this year.
I'm Peter Dennehy from John Burris Research, based in San Diego.
Right. So we're going to kind of go through some new products that we're seeing and then from our builders, what they're seeing and what's trending with them. And then Peter's going to wrap it all up kind of with what they've been researching. So I thought that would be interesting. So hopefully you guys will as well. And then also I keep forgetting to tell you, like, if you need to reach out to me and get any of these slides, just email me. At the last slide is usually my email, and I'll be happy to send them to you. And if anybody's interested in reaching out and being a Studio Mine member, reach out to me and I'll get you set up for mine as well, okay? So you guys just send me an email. That's all I'm gonna need. So, okay, let's get started. Let's see, I'm in charge. So what am I doing here? We introduced ourselves. Okay, so we're going to talk about flooring. So, Andrew, we're going to start with you. Okay. Now, I just want to say that I was over at having lunch with one of at a retail store called Stark in Southern California, and came across a new yarn system that does not exist. So, you guys all know Stainmaster is no longer available to all of us, right? It was purchased by Lowe's, so we no longer get that yarn system. So I found something that was really cool. And Andrew, take it away.
Yes, so Stark has been very fortunate for 84 years to cater to the interior design trade almost exclusively. Who they're putting demands on us now for luxury, which has to look good and has to be in the right colors and also has to be what we call performance. So we actually developed a yarn system we call SPA, which is an acronym for Stark Performance Acrylic. And we believe it is the most durable carpet fiber in the world. We will back that up with any sort of guarantee that anybody ever asked us for, including but not limited to if you're not happy or something happens to your rug that we can't clean, we'll just give you another one. That's how confident we are in this fiber. So I've brought along some samples, and we have a little slide of one story of just a very particular rug that we designed and built that is our #1 seller right now. And it's been promoted by Ashley Stark, who's the 3rd generation owner. And if anybody's ever heard of Ashley Stark Home or followed, and she has several million followers on Instagram, so I'm not surprised if somebody in this room knows who she is. But she's been the face of our brand. So yeah, we're just going to continue to meet the demands. This was something that we didn't necessarily see coming. We have dealt with a crowd of end users who I kind of want to say didn't always concern themselves with durability. They were more concerned with how does it look in my home. And if it looked good, then it felt good, everybody was happy. And then I would say post 2007 financial crisis, there was a refreshed sense of value in our industry that I noticed. That changed, where people said, hey, I don't really care what something costs, but I do care how long it's going to last. And so meeting that demand took us a while. We're a wool house primarily, which of course is the best carpet fiber in the world in terms of overall appearance and cleanability, but it does have its limitations because it's a natural fiber. You can't scrub it too hard. You can't put harsh chemicals, which often are the best cleaning solution, sadly. But Stark Performance Acrylic will take a beating.
Have you guys heard of an acrylic carpet? Have any of you heard of acrylic carpet? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah.
Me either. I had not either until January or February, whenever I was.
If anyone has a minute, there's some samples here that you're welcome.
Yeah, you guys are more than welcome. They're going to be out here to do this. So
thank you.
Okay. Yep. No problem. Keep going.
So this is our marketing team has put together some really interesting things for us, and what we can share with our clients is more than just a sample. Now, sometimes, again, more and more demand for what is that going to look like in my house? I don't really know. Even the professional interior designers now are saying, hey, I need to see something. You need to create imagery for me that I can show my clients. Just samples just aren't good enough anymore. So again, it's another adaptation that we've had to make, including but not limited to building out the technology on our website to do room scene settings. So, and this is my original intent coming here is that we were talking to builders. So I set up a scenario where what I believe builders appreciate construction and how things are built. So this is the story of how a rug is built oftentimes, including the
designers appreciate it because they need to educate their clients.
Yeah.
So we're good with understanding that as well.
Yeah, good. So we get asked sometimes about this. So again, designers often more concerned with what's it cost, how's it look, and how's it going to last.
I think how's it look, and then what's it cost.
Yes.
Honestly, I think that's what.
Not sure there's a particular order. But,
do you have something less expensive that looks exactly like that, performs like that, right?
Yeah.
So.
But to build value in sort of what we do, if we're talking about a handmade carpet in a 9x12 size, which is a pretty standard size, you're talking about a process, start to finish. So, and that starts with the collection of the fiber. There's spinning and carding, shearing of shape, dyeing, setting up looms that you'll see in a couple of slides that are very crude, still done by hand. This is not an industry that is likely to ever be technologically enhanced.
So robots probably won't be doing this.
I don't think so. I hope not. Actually.
Yeah, I haven't done a carpet mill tour in a while. Yeah, I haven't done. We're scheduled to do one at Fabrica soon. There's a group of us that are going to do that. Do you guys go to carpet mill tours? Yes, because you worked with me. So we do that. If you haven't been, designers, it's really good. A carpet is obviously, well, I know in California, we've not put a lot of carpet in models for a long time. And carpet really is the best value in flooring, in my opinion. If you compared a square foot hard surface to a carpet by the square foot, you can get a very beautiful fine carpet that gives you color and texture and warmth in the house. I'm starting to see, when I'm speaking with some model designers lately, they're starting to ask about carpet for the bedrooms again for us. So thank God, because I feel bad for my carpet people that they just kind of got out, because if it's in a model, it sells. And when it's not being in models, people are like, oh, nobody wants carpet anymore. But then you buy all the hard surface, and then you buy all the area rugs to go on, right? So now you're spending twice as much money. So, but I live primarily on hard surface, not by choice. It's just the house I'm in. And I have to tell you, I will be changing out my bedroom to carpet. I need to wake up on carpet. So it's a little bit easier on my body too. So anyways, that's my personal opinion on carpet. So, right. Sure. Thank you. So we're just going through the finishing process and then the rug appreciation.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of business in Nepal and India specifically, and we are very invested in those countries. We have over 1,000 people working for us in those countries right now, weaving rugs, and we have a very, very harmonious relationship with them and have worked hard to sort of change the face of the rug weaving industry, which, as you may know, doesn't have the greatest reputation.
Do you guys know about Stark? Does everybody out here know? Me either. I didn't know about Stark either. And I told Chad Stark, shame on you that we don't know about you. So we're going to make it known that we're going to do that. So, okay, then we're going to get into Joceyln. Okay, you're going to tell us a little bit about what's going on in your photos here and what's going on in Minnesota.
Yeah, so I'm from Minnesota. So one thing, we were talking about flooring here, and specifically in bathrooms per se. So we're still seeing a lot of the kind of bold geometric shapes for primary bathrooms and really laundry rooms. I don't know if that's the same for everybody. And then another thing that we're really doing is kind of taking the normal, like a normal subway tile, whether it's, 3x6 or a different size, and then installing it different ways. We're seeing a trend back towards texture. I'm not sure if everybody else is having that as well, or kind of where they're from, but yeah, those are kind of the two what we were talking about here.
Great.
Yeah.
And then Shane, I put some flooring pictures in there from you as well.
Excellent. Well, I can speak to a few things in it. I think with flooring, we're seeing a lot of natural, warmer woods being used. Okay. And then the reason why I put these photos in specifically, it showcases, we've got a lot of buyers purchasing the black fusion wrapped windows. Oh. So that looks really nice, especially in the exterior of the home. So the cost savings to do the fusion wrap. And then it just shows that we're using a lot of natural and texture came up, right? So that's a big one. And just having those natural elements. For minimalism is something that we're really seeing across the board, and we've got in our show homes. So we've got the paneled closet doors, and I've got some future other photos in here that you guys will see that show how it looks in the kitchen, right? And
so can I ask, what's fusion wrap? Okay, because I don't know what that is. Okay, got it.
So it's a more affordable way for our buyers to have that look of black window casings, right?
Okay.
So you can have the choice of having it just on the show on the exterior of your home, so it doesn't go through into the interior. So it's white on the interior, black on the outside, and it's just more affordable than getting the actual product come in black.
Okay.
Right. So,
And it's weather. I mean, it stands up to weather.
it's in Calgary, so yes, it is.
That's what I'm thinking.
All weather.
That was
Yeah.
my thought. So cool. Yeah. Great. Okay. My friend Travis here, Travis Ray. So I went to, in Southern California, I went to an event at Middle B's. Do you guys have Middle B's where you guys are? Yes, I know Texas does. Anyways, they are a appliance showroom, and they ended up with this cool appliance that I was blown away with, and I think you guys are going to be blown away. We wanted to bring it here to cook for you guys this morning, and that was not gonna, they did not let us do that here. But if you guys ever get a chance, I'm suggesting you guys do this. This is a really cool way, and it's also an appliance that will be great in many areas. But let's get started. Go ahead, Travis.
So,
Tell your story.
oh, my story. I'll tell you the quick version. After college, I went to culinary school and cooked professionally in fine dining for about 4 years in San Francisco. This was a long time ago. And have spent my whole career really in the food business. But when I heard about Brava back in 2016, what I heard was that this was an oven that could cook with light and that could sear a steak in 5 minutes and have it come out perfectly. And it sounded like the most nonsensical thing to me. I was wise enough to go and interview with them, though. And at the time, they didn't even have an office. They were in a house in East Bay. And it was about 20 people inside this house, all in standing desks, building the prototype in the garage with welding masks on. I interviewed in the bedroom. It was very strange. And they cooked for me.
So Northern California.
Yeah, it was really right out of the show Silicon Valley. They cooked for me, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing with my two eyes. I was blown away and wanted to join the company right away. And so that's what Brava is. It is a smart countertop oven that cooks with infrared light. It cooks about 2 to 4 times faster than any regular oven. The lamps were originally designed for the solar industry. So they were designed to phase silicon wafers onto solar panels. They go from ambient to full power in less than 1 second, and they also shut off and just as quickly. That gives us some really cool advantages over a regular oven. So regular ovens cook with either gas or heater coils. They haven't changed in about 100 years in terms of technology. They're very slow to heat up, very slow to cool down, but they're very good at maintaining radiant heat inside the chamber. Brava is a totally different beast. We try and actually vent out most of the heat, or as much as we can, from the back. The lamps give us that searing power so that you can truly sear a steak, which you could never do in a regular oven. But they also give, because they turn on and off instantly, they give us 3 unique zones or chambers within the oven chamber itself. So I'll get back to that in just a minute and what some of that does. But the smart kitchens, I also thought were going to be kind of strange. I mean, we've seen smart homes and the Ring doorbells and all these other connected things. But when I first heard about a connected oven, that also sounded kind of ridiculous to me. I was like, why would anybody need it? Some of those characteristics of the connectivity or the smart cooking have to do with connectivity and automation. Those are the main things. There's also remote monitoring. So Brava has a camera inside of it. You can watch the food cook while you go walk the dog. It is very energy efficient, not only just because of the technology itself, but also because of the speed in which we're cooking. We can cook an entire meal in less time and with less energy than it takes to preheat your regular oven. Yeah, we can go to the next one.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thanks. So, yeah, so I'd already told you, about, it's faster, and you can cook 3 different ingredients at the same time on the same tray. Because essentially what we're cooking with is a spotlight. It's sort of like the same amount of power that you would have if you went outside on a sunny day and magnified the sunlight by about 80 times. That's what we're cooking with, and it's all powered by software. So what our chefs, the first thing we had to do was figure out how to cook with light, because there's no reference materials on how to do that kind of thing. So cooking 3 things at once. And here you can see on the far right side over there, what I mean by having 3 different things that are cooking all at the same time. And now it's sort of like an optimization of the sheet pan meal trend, which some of you guys may have seen pop up in the last 10 years or so. But if you were to do that meal with the salmon in a regular oven, your salmon would not be crispy. By the time the salmon got cooked, the tomatoes would be totally blown out. It would be a big mess. But with Brava, we're cooking each ingredient independently, and each lamp's turning on and off very quickly. There's also no preheat. You can cook a pizza in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we had a steak meal where we had steak, cold potatoes in the back, and then maybe asparagus in the front, and it was 8 minutes. The whole thing, crispy steak on top. Yeah, it was amazing. But builders wait; they're going to make it built in. So
there's
just going to let all you guys know it's going to be a built-in.
There's 8,500 recipe programs underneath the hood of Brava. Oh, whoops. And it gets better all the time. That's the other part, because it's connected to the internet. We push new recipes to it every Tuesday. And then about once a month, we do software updates. So what we're pivoting right now a little bit and really seeing a lot of sales in assistive technology, where people who have intellectual, developmental, or physical disabilities are now being able to cook at home for the first time, because a lot of the features that we originally designed for Brava, not with assistive technology in mind, we were really thinking about kids, because it stays cool to the touch. It shuts off automatically. The remote monitoring, all these things are fantastic for assistive technology users. And yes, the big burning thing that you were saying is, I know we launched Brava in 2018, probably right at the peak of when designers were pulling everything off of the countertop. I had to do it all over again in retrospect. But we are working on a built-in. It's I started working with designers when Middleby purchased us back in 2019.
Yeah.
And boy, were they vocal about the fact that they wanted the built-in.
Yeah, Scott knows. Yeah. Scott knows what builders need. So from a builder standpoint, we need it built in. We can't have things that are removable from the house. I think it's a cool space. Like if you had an ADU you were building and you can use it, you don't have to put a full kitchen oven in there. It can go, the way it's built right now, it can go in a boat, an airplane.
Vans.
Vans, yeah.
Custom van builds.
Buses, things like that. So, but one of the cool things is, so there's 8,500 recipes that are already programmed in. They, now I cook. I like to cook, so I don't buy frozen things, but people are so excited. I'm sure my young men would love this, because they've programmed almost every frozen meal from Costco in there and every frozen meal from Trader Joe's in there, right? Yep. Okay. So if I speak out of turn, tell me, but I'm just telling you.
It's not all of them, but it's a good quantity.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And it's not that big right now. So what size
It's about the size of a desktop printer. At the widest, I think it's 16 inches. The other thing I was going to tell you guys, because you're designers, is this is a really amazing gift for your clients. Because the cool thing, and we started seeing this, we put Brava as part of the buy one, get one program with Viking, because that's one of our sister companies. And what we got an approval from Scott to typically when they get the buy one, get one, they have to have the appliance installed before they get the free thing. We got an approval from Scott to be able to give them the Brava if they choose that right away, because they're able to cook when their kitchen is down, when their kitchen's
so for remodels.
Yeah, it plugs into a 110, 120 standard. Yeah, you just set it on the counter. We
set it in the garage. When I was living through my remodel, we all lived in the laundry room practically. We would have liked to cook in the laundry room at that point.
Yeah, and one of our regional vice presidents from Middleby was cooking in her bedroom when her kitchen was down. She had it plugged in like near the nightstand. So you can really take it anywhere. It's about 32 pounds, very portable.
Yeah. Have you guys seen any of this? Has anyone seen the Brava? Okay, yeah. It's pretty cool that's out there. But you've got more slides.
So here's one thing that you can do, though, with the off-counter storage options. You can put them in an appliance garage. You can build it into where the microwaves go. So we've seen that a lot. And you can see in this slide that the Brava pulls out from underneath there, which is really nice. You do kind of need that pull out if you have a tight space because of the touchscreen is on the top. And we won some awards. I'm really happy with the Good Design Award and the Pop Mechanics Award.
And look at a built-in. Oh.
And that is what the built-in will look like. Nice. It'll be a 30-inch wide, same kind of cutout as a warming drawer or I think some kind of microwave.
Yeah, it looks like about the size of a microwave. Say that again, Cap. Finishes.
The Brava today we have a couple of different ones. So let me go back so you can see a few things. So what you see here is the original Brava in the stainless steel and aluminum. We also have a black one, and then the one on the top up here is the one we launched last year, which has a glass door.
And then when you do the built-in, are the controls going to be on top? Or
no, the controls will be on the front.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be, you see you can kind of see in this bigger one where the
oh yes, I can see. Well, that would add if somebody wanted more cabinet space and not a double oven or anything like that. You can be a nice option.
And it's meant to go in and fit in with the new Viking reveal as well. It's going to kind of have that same sort of look to it, so that it can nest in with any of the Vikings new reveal, it was fun. When Middleby purchased us, we started immediately working with the Viking team to help them develop all of the smart technology. So the Viking reveal is their first entry into the smart oven space, where they're going to have programmed recipes. We worked on all of the UI and touchscreen stuff for them. Because, I think of Brava really as a software company more than anything.
Right. We were talking about this last night. He's like, I'm a chef. I didn't know I was going to be in the software business doing that. So.
And then this is the one of the Middleby's other companies, Novi, that also does some connected products with the ventilation and things like that. So.
That's cool, right, you guys? That's like a new product. I've not seen anything like that, right? So that was really fun. Okay, health and wellness. So this is something I'm very passionate about right now. I've been going to a lot of events and the designer events, and they've been speaking about health and wellness a lot. So I wanted to start hitting on that because I know Peter will talk on this, speak about this in their research. But so I think you guys should know, I think you can have, I just chose the bedroom. That's an area where the health and wellness can begin. So I don't know, do you guys all know that your beds are made with chemicals? So you're sleeping 8 hours, 9 hours a day or in the evening on chemicals, and you're breathing that in. And what they were finding is that people that have illnesses or just have ongoing health issues are not getting better because they're sleeping on the chemicals. So I started doing some research, and there's a company in Southern California. It's called Custom Comfort Mattress. And they do not have a warehouse full of mattresses already made, and they make everything from natural fiber. Their grandfather started it in Southern California, and he was a farmer, and they started using everything out in the fields to do that. So it's so funny. I had a custom comfort mattress, and then apparently in my divorce, my husband wanted it, my ex-husband wanted it, so he got that mattress. So I spent a lot of money and got my bed from, was it the Westin Hotel? What bed am I thinking? The Heavenly Bed. Yeah, it's full of chemicals. So it's probably not good for me. So, but I spent a lot of money on that because I also bought it at Nordstrom's at the time and got all my points.
Is that the one your husband got?
No, he got this one. I know, I got that one, right? So anyway, so I was just saying, so free of petrochemicals, products were made outside of the USA usually come with chemicals because they don't have the same AQMD laws that we have to do. Sleeping 8 hours, I already hit on that. Also blackout shades. So my friends from Hunter Douglas here. So blackout shades are one that you want to keep that room, aromatherapy, and white soft noise. So I was thinking with aromatherapy, there must be something out there technology-wise with like the systems that you can get, like the air venting system. There must be something that, and I haven't heard of it yet, that we can do with aroma through it. Does anyone know about that? I haven't heard of it either.
There's another thing going on here too with temperature.
Yeah, well, that's...
Eight sleep and stuff.
Yeah, so it's funny. So I kind of just went through and I picked up Custom Comforts information, and they kind of went through what's going on here. I know their new bed is also going to have white noise. So you can program your bed. It's going to be a smart bed that you can program with some background noise. I call it white noise, but you know, that soft noise, not the TV going. So, this is these are really comfortable. You can see they make everything. You can get them in about 7 days, and they ship all over the world, but they are made in the United States. And if you've not gone on a bed educational lunch and learn, let me know, and we can all go to Custom Comfort. They do a great job, and you guys will be impressed. Who knew that they measure you for a bed and like how you sit and how you stand, and it's just like, I was blown away with this too. So, so sleep beautifully. I put in the Hunter Douglas shades. So for the blackout shades, because that was one of the things that they were talking about in the wellness design thing I went to an event, and it was called At Faucets and Fixtures. So you guys probably have heard of those companies. And I'm inside and I'm like, why is there an unmade bed in the middle of the showroom? And we started talking about what that was all about. And it was health and wellness and, you know, just people doing healthier things in their house. So, but let's go.
Well, maybe I'll just jump in on health and wellness.
Yeah, let's start there.
Because we've done a lot of research on that. So if you saw my keynote or our keynote the other night, we did talk about just health and wellness being important generationally. At the older end of the spectrum, it's probably about personal wellness and staying healthy. At the younger end, it has a little bit more of a tinge towards environmentalism and you know, expectations of that. You know, the number one thing is we test with consumers. And I should mention, everything I'm talking about, I think I said it the other night as well, comes from the survey work that we do on an ongoing basis. If there is a room of the house or an appliance, we probably have a report for you. I did not bring all 300 of them with me. But if you want to reach out to me, if you have a special interest in kitchens or health and wellness, we just published one on work from home. We're happy to provide that to you. So I'll give that commercial a couple times. The number one thing in health and wellness is air filtration. As we test with consumers across the board, probably thanks to COVID, everybody is, you know, kind of interested in a healthy air system at home. Consumers do believe that homes impact their health and wellness. And, you know, so they are interested in you know, wellness features in the home itself, and certainly in the community where they're buying in as well. And, you know, we know that during COVID, there was a lot of focus on outdoor activities and being able to walk and recreate outside close to home in a safe environment, maybe seeing your neighbors. Remember those days when we just, like, if you could walk down the street and like wave to your neighbors from across the way? That really made an impact on people's health and well-being. Mental health concern is also on the rise. Again, probably thanks to COVID. You know, people are much more aware of kind of health stress, mental health stress. So what they want their home environments to be is calm, cool, and collected. They want to eliminate clutter across the board, give their minds relaxation time. A home, it's kind of gone back to that home as a refuge thing again. You know, we particularly see that in that millennial buyer that's really driving home sales today. You know, they're very interested in, you know, clean, healthy, easy to take care of, easy to clean. Those are really like hot buttons for them in housing purchase. There is a commercial out there, you know, that illustrates the importance of air. I think it's a small girl and a voiceover saying something like the air she breathes is as important as the food that you give her. So that's that. And then, you know, just places for at-home exercise. That's a component of wellness. And then when you go into the amenities, of course, there's a bit of a change there as well. So
Yeah, I was at Dow Tile recently, and they were showing their new product that has a new finish on it that has to do with no bacteria in the tile and things like that. So that's interesting. So I'm going to ask you some questions then, okay?
Sure.
So what are you seeing in appliances in your research? Have you seen anything that people are asking for or wanting that's important?
Yeah, I mean, well, we asked people which appliances they're happiest with and least happy with. People are least happy with their dishwasher.
Yeah.
Just for the record. And so they're most happy with their refrigerators. And, you know, when you think about that or delve into it, and I was kind of touching on it, they're probably happier with their ovens too, maybe. There's been a lot of technology advances in certain appliances and less so in others. So, and if people are concerned about cleanliness, what's your number one complaint about dishwashers? They don't get your stuff clean. So that probably has a little bit to do with that dissatisfaction. I also would say that dishwasher technology has changed a lot less than it sounds like Brava did.
Yeah.
And refrigerators, I mean, which can almost order food for you now.
Yeah.
So, so I think that all of that advance in technology is resonating with consumers. So they're more interested, they're more satisfied by the new features that are being added in certain appliances, less satisfied in others, and focusing on the age-old issues, probably of cleaning. They're also concerned about noise, I think, in dishwashers. Those are like the two big complaints. Gas versus electric is on the horizon as well, in some states because of mandate. So, you know, what we see in our consumer surveys across the country is a preference for gas. That certainly is what most people are used to. But they're going to have to, but they're open to induction solutions. And so I think that as we roll that out and become familiar with it, particularly the younger generations, you know, I think I said the other night, Gen Z looks as willing to cook as other generations. So expect that your consumers will be cooking. They're going to have to get used to new technology and the induction in some states sooner than others. Energy ratings for appliances are highly important. Again, the millennials really drive this. They really are pushing for energy efficiency, but it's really a selling point across all ages. Everyone likes to save money on their energy costs, which are higher than ever in most markets. Energy Star is kind of the number one rating system. It's the best known. They do a great job of marketing. And you can get a wide variety of appliances with that rating. So, you know, there are other ratings out there, but that's by and far kind of the top rating, and consumers value it.
Okay, I'm going to ask about cabinets and countertops. So everyone wants to know about color. What are designers and consumers telling you with cabinets and counters?
You'll hear me say this a bunch of different times, but the way that house exteriors go is how interior finishes tend to go. And, you know, we've seen a preference shift towards modern, contemporary, farmhouse, kind of all that imagery. And kitchens are no different. And bathrooms and other things in the house. So, you know, the white neutral kitchen is very well, country kitchen, I guess you might call it, farmhouse kitchen, is very established in the market. Neutrals are working. Joceyln and I were talking about kind of grays coming into the kitchen. White, gray, and other neutral colors, people seem to be very willing to choose them in that direction as well as an extension, particularly if it's something that's easy to change. You know, like if you make an appliance change and went to black from stainless, that's pretty expensive to change. But, you know, if you do a backsplash or cabinetry or something, you can always change it if you're not satisfied with it. And possibly we're seeing a little bit more of a shift toward warmer tones in kitchens and also in house exteriors. And, you know, by that, you know, they're still kind of on the neutral end of the spectrum, more natural shades, but warmer.
Right, not the cool gray. The
cool versus
gray,
warm.
yeah.
Cool versus warm.
Yep, exactly. So how about outside exteriors? What are you seeing in elevations? Is that regional? What's going on?
You know, it's interesting. Regionality seems to be a lot less important in exteriors than it used to be. Why? There's been so much migration. There's people moving up everywhere. So people from California are now living in Raleigh. Where there's Raleigh again. best city in Carolina, at least. But, you know, there's just been a lot of migration, and they take their preferences with them, or at least their exposure to their former exteriors. The other thing is, we all know that, you know, we heard again the other night that social media, online searching is prevalent across the world. And so everybody sees everything everywhere now, and it's almost like places are less important. Like, this is Texas, this is whatever. people can see things from Texas that are happening, and they can say, "Oh, I like some of that stuff." I think I already touched on it, but that modern contemporary farmhouse is really probably the most important. But people will compromise on those things, and how the house lives is probably more important than the outside. And our advice to builders is simple is best on the home exteriors. There is kind of a trend towards mixing elevations, but don't do too much.
Mixing elevations within the same community.
Just having different materials in the
elevation. Oh, got it.
Not like a flat, all the same thing.
Got it.
So, but keep it simple.
Melanie, what do you see with that in Calgary?
With exteriors specifically?
Yep. It's more I'm curious now.
Yeah. We mix styles sometimes, for sure. We're kind of getting away from the farmhouse. I think that has kind of been done, and going back to more of the traditional looks in some of our communities. So,
are you seeing that too, Joceyln?
We're seeing more of a trend towards a Scandinavian, and that could just be us regionally, but really clear, clean, facades, and then steep roof pitches. Again, you got to get rid of the snow, so that helps. And then shed roofs are still really in, with metal, like a metal shed roof. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a complete.
I had no idea what a shed roof was, but now I know.
Yeah.
How about you guys? Are you guys seeing anything different with elevations or exteriors? In Newport, I see a lot of the black fusion windows. I don't know that they're called fusion, but I see that all over. Everybody's doing the white house with all the black windows. So, yeah, that seems to be, very trendy. I'm like, okay, we'll know what years these were built, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's that black gray house thing, which is like, that's been kind of done right now. And so I think but you can start to bring in a little bit of color, a little bit of elevation change, kind of like break that up a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Texture.
Yeah. Okay, Texas, what are we seeing? Are we still doing brick all over? When I went to Texas for the first time, I'm like, wow, we use a lot of brick here. Great. Okay, good.
And that's in Texas? Yeah. Yeah. But so many of the consumers are coming from places like California.
Well, I think what Peter said is because everyone's relocating and it doesn't matter, and you kind of like your look, and it doesn't matter that you're living in Nashville. It doesn't mean it's going to look like Nashville.
I think you used to be selling to Nashvillians, essentially, and now you're selling to the people of the country, and they're open to the design, or at least it's not a turnoff.
Yeah.
Northwest Arc.
And then let me ask you, are you, other than what we were talking about with Andrew with carpet, are you hearing consumers say they want carpet or don't want carpet? What are you hearing in your research?
Well, consumers prefer hard surfaces in their living spaces.
Yes.
And by living, I don't mean that.
You mean their main areas?
I mean main areas open in there. They kind of say they don't prefer vinyl, but they're thinking of vinyl the old way. They're open to hard surfaces, and there's been a lot of advance in hard surfaces. They look much better. They come in a lot of different characters. Durability, aesthetics, color, style, cost, ease of cleaning, those are all important factors. And so that's why hard surfaces are probably on top. But yes, carpet is more used in bedrooms and also areas where there's sound attenuation concern. Maybe that's a home office. I don't know. Media room.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, are you seeing rooms, the walls coming back? That, we've had these great rooms, and our people now, because of COVID, I thought people realized they needed more cut up spaces, like a dining room, like its own dining room, its own area. I know we're going to talk about that more tomorrow, but I just didn't know.
I'd be interested in what you guys say.
Okay.
But I have an answer, but maybe the builders.
Sure. Yeah. We've got a lot of buyers coming from outside of Calgary. And the newest preference, besides the main floor bedroom with full bath, is to have 2 separate living room areas. So no longer to have the 2 separate dining it's the living room areas, and it's just how they entertain and how they live, right?
So like a family room type one, and then a formal more living room, or just two living rooms?
Just two spaces.
Okay.
So, because I think that the bonus room upstairs is kind of the media TV room. So, after dinner, they kind of disperse and they go to two different areas to hang out with their families. So multi-generational families.
Yep.
And so I think it's demographic maybe dependent. So we're seeing that a lot these days.
Okay.
We're seeing a lot of the same. We typically have a gathering room on the main bonus room upstairs. Sometimes there's even a third, whether it's a media room in the lower level. It kind of just depends on what they're looking for, but definitely having multiple spaces. We do have several floor plans with formal dining rooms. We've really seen a trend to rework those spaces. We're a semi-custom home builder into, put it back by like this, the kitchen to have a scullery or, a working prep kitchen, something like that. Those spaces are super important, right?
Okay. I know we're going to touch on rooms tomorrow. What are you hearing?
Very quickly, I would just add, I don't think that the COVID preferences or asks for housing are still prevalent because we're not living that way anymore. We've kind of gone back. So the urgency of it is probably lessened. And, at the lower end of the spectrum, we need to have multifunctional spaces because we can't build. People are constrained by attainability. And so, we can't break things back up and like separate them again. So you have to be sensitive to that. I think that indoor-outdoor thing really helps where you can orient living space to outdoors and kind of create extra space. But I don't think that urgency of COVID, live, work, school at home thing is still there.
Got it. Well, in our remodels, in my side of the business where I'm working with a lot of independent designers, they are taking the white out and they are, and they're actually doing two colors, two wood tones the island might be one color and they might do a blue island.
Right. Well, I think Salon Mobile is would lead the way, of course. But we are at that inflection point. I mean, we actually are seeing that. Wall Street Journal did a great article on that transition. So we're kind of like 50-50. So like if we did that survey 2 years ago, I think white and gray would be super dominant. Now we're starting to see people move.
Yeah.
And I think, I'd pay attention to that.
When I was, we were doing some flooring education with one of the design centers I work with. Dark wood floors are coming back. So, the dark chocolates and walnuts and things like that. So everyone's got some that they're offering now. So that'll be interesting. The minute they go into model, it'll be great. We'll kind of start stepping away from that. So do you guys have any questions? So if you guys want this slide, it will include everybody's.
I have a question.
Yep.
How much does the Brava system cost?
Oh, good question.
Starts at $12.95 US. The next package up is $14.95. The next package is $16, and then the glass one is $19.95.
To under $2,000.
And is that retail for a consumer?
Yes.
Okay. So that's retail.
Would that intentionally replace microwaves?
In most cases, yes. I still use a microwave. Brava can heat with almost the same speed as a microwave, but it does it with sort of oven quality. So it's cool because you can, I think now for the first time, kind of take home French fries if you have them left over, and you can bring them back to life in about 3 minutes. The one thing I'll say is that Brava is not the best tool for reheating a cup of coffee or a bowl of soup because it will heat the vessel itself. So it's kind of handy to have a microwave, but I don't use it.
Well, it's funny. I don't have a kitchen with a microwave, and I ended up buying a little one, stuck it in the laundry room to reheat my coffee. It's the only thing I use it for, is to reheat my coffee. But when I was over there working with the chefs and doing that and learning about it, Brava, they said it won't reheat like coffee and soup is what they talked about. They said
but it can.
No, but they just said it will heat the whole thing. Yeah. It's like taking it out of the oven. So, yes. Repeat the question.
Oh, sorry. The question was, how hard is it to learn to cook with Brava?
Got it. Thank you.
For me personally, it was difficult because we had to figure it out. For the consumer, it shouldn't be hard at all. It should be almost as simple as literally loading a tray, pushing a button. Now, I will say you can dive deep into Brava. We have a program on there. You have to think about these programs like apps. So there's a program on there called Custom Cook where you can design your own recipe programs. You can string together any of the 8,500 programs that we have, or use any of the manual modes like air fry, bake, reheat, sear, dehydrate, and you can string those things together too to create your own recipe, and then you can publish it, and then anybody else that has a Brava can download your recipe. So there's a social aspect to it too, where you're creating. I will say there is a slight learning curve. We've really spent a lot of time and years trying to get that learning curve down for people, because a few things are different. With convection and those types of cooking, you need space on the tray for airflow. In Brava, you don't need space at all. As long as the ingredient can see the light, it's getting cooked. And so when people first see it, they say, oh gosh, the tray's not very big. I'm not going to be able to put much food on it. And that's not the case. Actually, you can really crowd food onto that tray. And so that was one of the kind of main things that we had to teach people. The other interesting thing was the camera. Turned out, we built and put the camera in there for the end user, but it turned out to be the greatest customer support tool of all time. Because anytime a customer calls with a problem, we pull up that camera view and look so that we're seeing the same thing. And we were able to say, oh, you underfilled the tray. But that helped us, being able to see what they were doing helped us to make our instructions clearer, to create videos and stuff to address those problems that they were having. So I think in the early days, it was a little rocky, when we only had 100 or 200 recipes. And, because it wasn't all perfect before we launched. And a lot of those functions that we have, like air fry and dehydrate, came later. They weren't on there in 2018. We just added them over the air.
Good question. Any more questions, you guys? We have a couple more minutes and then we are done here. So
I have one question.
Okay, go ahead.
For the builder. I think one of you guys said that there was a trend towards exercise spaces within the homes, like
health and wellness.
Are you seeing that as from are people like building?
Yeah, we are seeing that. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we do a lot of sport courts, and then usually as a room adjacent to that, we do a lot of rubber floor, and then people do whatever kind of various equipment they want.
Cool.
But yeah,
in Southern California, that's a lot as well.
Yeah.
Are you not seeing that? Or are you
Oh no, I was just curious. I built a gym when COVID.
Okay, got it. Got it.
My garage is.
I think that is a pandemic thing that probably is sticking around, but it was probably true before.
I was going to say, yeah. I think they built it.
I think they're not doing schooling at home, but they are still recreating at home.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, thank you, you guys. These were great. Thank you for your time again. So we have one more session this afternoon, and we're actually going to go into some room by room trends that are going on. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.